Hi, my name is Len Youngs. I'm known to my boating friends by the nickname of Pie. Not too long ago, Mike King, a good friend of mine, called me and said, "Hey Pie, I got a kind of an exciting thing for you." He says, I'm gonna meet with you and I'll give it to you." So we got together and he handed me a roll of film, a canister of film, and on the front of it it said, "Parker 9-Hour Enduro, February 1966. And what it was is a movie that his mom and dad had made. It's 18 minutes long, of the Parker 9-Hour 1966. But before I let you see the film, I got to tell you a little story, because there's a little history that goes with it that sort of sets the stage for the whole thing. At the end of the ski races in 1965, everybody was sitting on the beach shooting the breeze and drinking a beer and having a Pepsi and talking. And the discussion turned to the upcoming Parker 9-Hour in February of the next year. And all of a sudden Bernie says, "Hey Pie, why don't we get together and build a boat? And we'll go racing and try the 9-Hour." And I said, "Well, that sounds good." And he said, "Well, good, you buy a boat and I'll buy a motor and we'll put them together and we'll have some fun." So about that time Glenn piped up and said, "Hey, why don't you guys buy a motor and put it in my Beesmeyer, my old Beesmeyer, and you can run the 9-Hour in that." Well, after a good laugh, Bernie says to Glenn, "Hey Glenn, that old log wouldn't run 10 laps in the 9-Hour." Anyway, within about 2 weeks I had procured a boat from Nick Barron. It was being laid up and put together. And Bernie had bought an engine from Mission Chevrolet, a brand new 396 high performance engine, first right out of the box, the first on the market. And we started working on our number 13 yellow race boat. And Glenn would come by and help us every chance he got. He'd bend wrenches and eat donuts and do all the stuff that you do while you're working on boats. And every time he was there, he would say, "God, I wish you were putting this motor in my boat. We could really have a good time." Well, one Saturday morning when we were at Bernie's working on the boat, up drives Truett, and in the back of his pickup truck, he's got a nearly new 430 Lincoln engine that he and Donna Hitchman had chipped in together, paid $500 for this Lincoln engine. He bought it from B&D Auto Wrecking. And Truett says to Glenn, "Hey, Flapjaw, here's your motor. Get your boat ready to run the 9-Hour. You only got about 6 weeks to get ready to go." Anyway, Glenn got a bunch of his buddies together from the boat and ski club, and they went down to Lansford's shop, tore that boat apart, rebuilt everything, put in a new gas tank, a big heavy-duty gas tank, and painted the boat yellow, put the name Fat Cat on it with the number 222, and put that Lincoln in there, and they were ready to run the 9-Hour. Anyway, the crux of this story is that when the 9-Hour came along, the yellow 13 Hallett that Bernie and I put together ran about 7.5 hours, and the V-drive broke, and that was the end of our racing. Meantime, Glenn is out there just putting along, and he completed the whole 9-Hour, ran the whole ball of wax, and he said to Bernie, "Hey Bernie, that old log did run 10 laps and a little bit more." So he got his day, he's got his laugh and his day in the winner's circle. Anyway, this movie documents that whole thing, and it's kind of neat, a little piece of history. So I'm going to turn this thing off. It's been nice talking to you folks, and now you can watch the movie. Have a good day.